Today I fucked up by having sex with my wife and accidentally absorbing a bunch of her estrogen. My wife has very bad endometriosis and we've struggled with infertility since we started trying to have kids about 6 years ago. We've been super lucky to have one baby through in vitro fertilization and we are in the middle of trying for a second that way. This involves a shitload of fertility drugs. One of those drugs is an estrogen supplement she has to take vaginally. Infertility really messed with our sex life, especially at the beginning. The past few years though, we've worked really hard on getting that spark back. Thanks to IVF, sex isn't for baby making anymore, it's for connecting with each other and having a grand old time. So we get it on a few times a week and it's fantastic. Because of our fertility issues, this guy hasn't used a condom in 6 years. I'm usually a pretty happy guy. The past few weeks though, I was in what has to be the worst mood anyone has ever had. I had a raging headache, wanted to cry every 5 minutes and had so much irrational rage about everything. My wife is obviously concerned and asks what the hell is happening to me. I'm concerned about myself too and we try to figure out why I was in such a terrible mood. And we finally realized our fuck up. She has been taking her estrogen supplement before we go upstairs for bed where we usually have some sexy time a few times a week before going to bed. Since I haven't been wearing a condom, my penis has basically been taking an estrogen bath several times a week and we think I've been absorbing the estrogen through my penis. I've been wearing a condom, for about a week now and I am pretty much back to my normal happy self. On a side note, I have a whole new understanding of the pure hell she goes through just to give us a chance at having another baby. Too long didn't read. My wife has been taking estrogen supplements vaginally and I accidentally took them penis ally without realizing it. Edit. Wow, I never had a post blow up this much. For everyone going through infertility or dealing with endometriosis, know that you're not alone and it's awesome to be able to talk about it with others. Find a good support system even if it's strangers on the internet. For everyone leaving mean comments, I'm sorry if you don't agree with my and my wife's life choices. Try to have a little empathy and grace for other people when you have zero idea what they've been through. Yes, adoption is a fantastic option. We went down that path for 2 years through both private adoption and through the foster care system. I wish it was as easy as everyone in here seems to think it is, because if it was, we would have adopted a long time ago. The system is broken and needs to be fixed. We have a heart for the foster system and when we have the space we plan on fostering along with raising our own kids. This sort of reminds me of a story. I'm a vet and I once had a very sweet client with a pity mix puppy that he absolutely adored. One day, he called saying his yearish-old puppy had attacked him randomly as he passed through a doorway and he needed to board him for a few days as he was rattled. They come in and both of these fellows look heartbroken. Dad is crying openly and has bandages on his arm and Pity Boy looks depressed and jumpy. Neither are the smiling pair we're accustomed to. We tell Dad we want to look the guy over and run some blood work. Dad just wants his dog back to normal so agrees. We observe this dog and he's not himself. Hyper, growly. We send off blood work which looks largely normal, but the change was so sudden, we still suspect a toxin. Ask Dad repeatedly if he could have gotten into anything at the house. Nope. He knows not to leave things around a puppy would chew on. Any pills he could have stolen? Nope. Dad was an athlete and pretty healthy. Is anyone in the household on any medication at all? Well, Dad thinks hard and says that he did some semi-professional wrestling in his youth and because of some steroid usage now needs testosterone. But he doesn't leave it sitting around and takes it topically. Light bulb. Topically? Would there be any chance the dog has contact? Dad says, well, I put it on my upper arm and shoulder area before bed. And dog sleeps with me and licks my arm to wake me in the morning. We ask the lab to run a testosterone level and it's wicked high. Issue fixed. Dad puts the cream in an area the dog never touches. Happy family resumes. It's actually been one of my most satisfying cases to solve. Update because penis ally got me. The proper medical term is dong-wise. Between the stuff that naturally occurs like menstruation, and all the chemical stuff like birth control and fertility medication, women really do be going through it. We just finished our first round of IVF and you just answered one of our questions. Why should we use protection while going through the process? Glad you can learn from my mistake. Here's one more you can learn from. IVF is completely exhausting and consuming, but make sure you take time for each other and work on your relationship whenever you can. Good luck with everything. Well, that's one way to start HRT. Also a very good insight to what it's like to actually have gender dysphoria. Today I fucked up by talking about the poop knife non-stop during a job interview. So I had a job interview today with Reddit. I was on the video call with the hiring manager, and just talking about normal things. I spoke about my work experience, how I handle clients, how I went about analyzing user trends in order to create content strategies, all very professional. They then asked me to put together a hypothetical content plan, what sort of Reddit Y content I would show to users that best represented the website. He said to think back a month ago and consider what content Redditors would be interested in. So, of course, I start talking about interesting and topical events. I mention how in January, everyone was thinking about the upcoming inauguration, so I'd surface that as news on a global scale. I'd also then go a bit more local and find interesting content from a user's country or continent. And, because all of the current world events can be so heavy, I'd include something light and fun, like the poop knife. As soon as I said that, then gave me this look crossed between disgust and confusion. The poop knife? Me? Yeah, you know, the poop knife. While mimicking holding a knife and then doing a cutting motion. I don't think I know what the poop knife is. And it sounds like that's a good thing. Me? Oh yeah, definitely. It's a pretty gross story. You'd think we'd leave it at that, but no. I then went on to explain the poop knife story in detail for 3 minutes. Complete with hand actions. It felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. I could see myself word vomiting and saying the words poop knife over and over. I was willing myself to stop talking about the goddamn poop knife, but it was like my brain was locked onto this one topic and I couldn't think of anything else. The entire time, the Hum's face got more and more horrified while I happily talked about users cutting up their gigantic poops. Finally, I came out of my daze. So anyway. Recently, users found out there was another Redditor who also had a poop knife. And everyone thought it was hilarious that 2 different people had the same poop knife idea. So, something like that. Again, while doing a limp cutting motion with my hand. I went on to talk about how I'd show inspirational content, funny content, something cute, and other content tailored to the user's interests. I thought I was out of the woods, but my brain was still stuck on the poop knife. And that's what I'd do. I'd show content from a variety of sources, something global, something local, and something funny. Like the poop knife. Again, I did the cutting motion. It was like I had no control over my body and the spirit of the poop knife had decided to channel itself through me. Tried to move on to other topics, but the damage was done. Bam still had this look of utter confusion, doubt and disgust on his face as we both said our goodbyes and tried to move past my shitty stories. Needless to say, I didn't get the job. Too long didn't read. I was so nervous for a job interview that I couldn't stop talking about the Reddit poop knife story. A few people have asked some questions, so to clarify, the role was in content strategy. I had to demonstrate that I understood trends in popular Reddit content and could generate/curate content that would resonate with users. I did the interview last Wednesday, but this post needed to be manually approved because it contained the word poop. I'm not sure if it makes a difference, but I'm a lady, not a dude. Edit 2. Oh god, we hit the front page and this is now the first post that comes up when you search poop knife. I would clap back with you work at Reddit and don't know about the poop knife. Wow, I think this interview is over. The poop knife is even an award on ITA. Reminds me of Chandler's interview. Poop knife? OP, oh my god, this doesn't count. Okay, the interview was over. That was the real me in there. This is just some crazy guy out in the hall. Call security. There's a crazy guy out in the hall. Poop knife? Exclamation mark. OP, I'll look forward to your call. Sounds like a company that's not interested in cutting edge technology. I'm disappointed that checking for knowledge of Pook Knife isn't part of the Reddit staff induction. All must know the story of Pook Knife. Honestly, what kind of people are running this site that don't know their own history? Today I fucked up by letting my boyfriend perform cunnilingus on me. Okay, so this was a couple nights ago. I was in bed with my boyfriend, just watching Shark Tank. Out of nowhere we decide to get it on. My boyfriend, being the saint he is, decides he wants to go down on me and seriously goes to town. Sorry for that detail lol. I'm totally into it, obviously. Suddenly he stops to say something to me and I don't really think much of it. Then all of a sudden, like the force of 1,000 winds, my crotch starts burning. It's on fire. Suddenly the realization hits me, we ate jalapeno poppers as part of our dinner that night. Fuck, I got jalapeno juice in my puss. I held my flaming crotch and hobbled over to the bathroom. While he tries to muffle his laugh in the other room, I have tears starting to form from the pain. I soaked my crotch in cold water and felt some of the best relief of my life. Eventually my crotch started feeling better, so I got back in bed and decided to not make jalapeno poppers for a while. Too long didn't read, I let my boyfriend go down on me and totally forgot we ate jalapeno poppers that night. Holy hell, did my vag hurt. Shark Tank also gets me into the cunnilingus mood. Don't ask what porn stars does, we. Best I can do is an over the pants finger blast. I wanted to add a little spice to our relationship. That's a spicy taco! Exclamation mark. My mum's boyfriend made a curry with a light dipping of a Carolina Reaper pepper. He didn't use gloves, or wash his hands after touching it. He then went for a pee. It was hilarious. Probably didn't wash his hands before prepping food either, so you are all even. I can totally relate, except my story involves buffalo wings for dinner and some finger play. I still feel terrible for doing that to her, but it's a funny story that I still share to this day. You go around sharing the story of how you stuck your buffalo fingers in your girlfriend's hoo-ha. I can never compete with people's meet cute stories.